Приветствую подписчиков канала «Живой дом» и гостей канала. Сегодня у нас видео будет интервью с нашим волонтером, который приехал из Америки. Он родился в Австралии, но жил 30 лет в Америке. И сегодня он расскажет нам о своем опыте в живом доме. David, can you tell some words about you, about yourself? It will be interesting for our subscribers, I think.
Certainly. I originally from Australia and have been living in Northern California for a good part of 30 years. I've been a performing musician most of the time there, and of course, like every other artist, I do all kinds of things during the week. I'm in the wine country in Northern California, so vineyards are very familiar to me, and farmland as well. And I drive trucks there, so I do the grape harvest every year, and a lot of my trucking includes stuff that's mainly in the wine industry and the farming industry as well. And I traveled to the Ukraine. I've been wanting to come here for a while for cultural reasons. I want to work with the bandura instrument and some other folk Ukrainian instruments. And along my travels here, well, I got stuck in lockdown while I got here on the third day.
Yeah.
But I had already planned on being here for 3 months anyway, so it did not really affect me. And once transportation began again, I started to get out and see a little bit. When I've toured before, my brother has used the woofer site, and so that's what made me jump on there. I was down in Odessa staying at a hostel down there, and I thought I'd like to come out to this region. And I saw your site, and it seemed like it was constant. It'd been updated a lot, and there are many tasks that needed to be done.
That's right.
Yep. And so I made my way out here.
And why did you choose our farm?
Well, I chose the farm because the region was in a region where I thought the region was a region where I wanted to go to. I knew after talking to you guys that you were a little bit away from the city, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to see some regional towns, some real country, tiny little areas that were very different to what I'm used to, and I always love to do that. You can go from one city to the next, and even when it's culturally different, it's still a city. I still think you will really begin to really find the true essence of a country once you get out into the regional areas where the farming towns are, and the towns are smaller. There's less money, there's less chaos, there's less industry, and you stand a chance of finding some real magic out here, which I have in the 2 weeks since I've been here.
I completely agree with you that you can find in the farms like real life of the country, and some houses which were preserved still, old houses,
You're absolutely
and
right.
the real life of people.
For instance, just a walk this way and a walk that way, 2 experiences. A walk that way and continued walk down there. There's little neighborhoods here that are old homes that have been around for a long time, and so you get to see them, and they're in little areas that are fenced off, so but they're old country style houses, so they have these little like hamlets, I guess that's what you would call them. And then there's a little grave site nearby where you could sit down that's very peaceful, and that has a lot of history in it. And of course there's a couple of lakes that both you and Dennis take us to, and if you go right, then you travel the other way there and go around into the back here. You can see some of the stuff there where there used to be a river there, and at the top there's wheat. You go walking through there, so either way you go, you're going to find stuff,
Yeah, it's very nice. And when I travel, I usually used to use such sites as couch surfing as well, because you can see the life of people from the inside.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask, is it your first time of being a volunteer?
This was my second time. I volunteered down in Odessa just before I left, and had a couple of wonderful days with a local family there, and just, you know, fantastic. You know, and this was the second. Yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it for people to do. It's really probably the best way you're going to have a real experience. Yeah.
Do you like being a volunteer? What is it for you to be a volunteer?
Well, it's been a while since I have done this kind of work. I stopped doing labouring style work. I've worked in construction, farming, landscaping most of my life, but I'm 55 now, so you know, it's not like I spring out of bed for this work, but I still can do it. And you know, I've been in lockdown for so long that I was starting to get a little bored, and I did want to have some tasks, you know, and it's nice to help people. It's nice to contribute. You know, if you go now, you know, when you guys look back on your pool, your rockery pool there, you're going to say there's that crazy Australian guy that swore way too much, and that was staying here. He helped us with that, and he was carrying the rocks. And you know, these will be experiences that you share with people. You know, it's good to contribute with people. It's how you form long acquaintanceships with people from different countries.
Yes, you get acquainted with people, with new people, because David is living here with another 2 volunteers, and this is a good experience as well, right? To know new people and to do new tasks and to do something interesting, maybe for you.
And share your culture with their culture. You know, you're visiting their culture. They are from these little places, you know, out, and you're going to start to learn so much more about the country, you know.
Yeah, and what are the things you liked in our farm?
Well, if you go right out here and down the way there, my most pleasant experience here is to go down to the well. There's an old well down there with fresh water where apparently a monastery years ago used to get their water from. And I can't tell you what a lovely experience it is after a hard day's work. You know, generally I'd be going down to the 7-Eleven and grabbing a 6-pack of beer and taking it home. But I go down to this well, I put my plastic bottle in here, and 12 inches into that well, the water is just really cold. Once you pull it out, your bottle is, you know, becomes a little frosted there. It's that cool. And I can bring that back. It's one of the most satisfying drinks of water that I've ever had. You know, there's just something about walking down there, and it's old. It's what we used to do many years ago, you know, and there's just something about it that symbolically that I loved doing daily. And usually Sasha and I, once we finish, we'll go for a walk down there. We'll fill up our bottles, or fill up the holy bucket and bring that back here and try and purify ourselves.
Yeah. These small things in the farm, they are very, very nice, and these small moments, when you live in the farm, you will appreciate these such small moments.
Even just getting up in the morning and going down there and picking a couple of raspberries off the bushes. First thing in the morning, to just kind of pry your mouth open, you know what I mean, to get that first little you know, bit of excitement in your mouth before you get on with the day, you know. Little things like that, going into the little garden here and picking out some mints or some, you know, herbs and things that you can go in here and add with your meal. All of the farm here, there's just all kinds of little goodies you can take from every day. Yeah, it's those little things that are wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. And can you say what was really difficult for you, maybe, and what was very interesting for you during your being volunteer here?
What's really difficult in the middle of the summertime here, it's like Australia. It's hot. It's really hot. It'll drain your energy, and that's why we started about 5 in the morning and we finish about 10. And the mosquitoes are just as bad as they are in Australia, and I just they feasted on me, and no matter how hard you try with the repellent and that, you're just going to get it. So you got to be prepared for that. That's one of the most difficult things that there is. And what was the other question?
But we still found the remedy from mosquitoes, right? We used that things to protect us.
Oh, cool. We got plenty of things there. You're going to get bit. There's nothing you can do about it. If you've done farm work before, that's the whole thing. If you've never done farm work before, you'll get shocked. Because you've never been in this environment before. But if you've done farm work before, which I have, you're used to the drill. You know what it's like. It's going to be rough and tumble. It's part of the beauty of it. It's part of the beauty.
And the other question was, which tasks were interesting for you? Maybe there were interesting tasks.
It's always good to build things. So it's great to build help build the rock pond up there. It's always nice to go around and get knowledge of how to grow things. I'm constantly, even though I go around and water things, and when Dennis gives me a task, I always like to ask him what's going on. But another thing that's really interesting here is just getting in the car and just going into town, and remember, for all of the volunteers that come from elsewhere, you've got two people who are local people. What's great about you guys is you have the great sentiment that you need to have when you're hosts. Don't treat the volunteers like they're donkeys or mules and cheap labor. You know what I mean? It's a sharing experience. And this is what's so great about you guys. Dennis, and we'll put on a good day for Dennis, but after 5 hours, he's like, that's it, let's rest, you know what I mean? And then late at night, we'll get out and I'll help him out with a little bit of watering too. But during the whole time I've been here, you and Dennis will, come on, let's go down the lake. We're going to show you guys this lake, where it's a really nice lake where you go swimming in. These little moments in between, this is what they do here, which is very cool. And this is why I can thoroughly recommend this to people to come here, is because they have the right sentiment. They know there's work to be done here, but there's also fun to be had, and there is things that they want to share their world with you. So this is what is good. And that's you. You guys just have that. You've got that. You have to have that, or you don't. And it's no fun if you've got somebody just cracking the whip and they don't give you any love. You know what I mean? There's no fun. You'll just get up and go to the next one.
Yeah, thanks a lot, David. And we try to exchange some experiences, volunteers, exchange some moments, some ideas, and we always receive something from volunteers, not only help but their soul, and we try to give our soul as well, and to do something interesting. Dennis is occupying more with the work, and I'm occupying more with the entertainment, and I also try to do something just to have just that our volunteers have good humor, not humor.
Well, you got that one down.
No, not humor. Good spirit, yeah. So thanks a lot, David, for your participation in our greenhouse. We appreciate it a lot.
Yes.
And when people come from America in our farm, we are really happy about people go from such a distant country to our farm. It's really amazing. And also, as David said, he is a musician, and now we want to show you his beautiful songs, which he does by himself. Yeah.
I can sing you one.
Okay, let's listen.